Hi everybody and welcome to Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. I'm Wil Shriner and this is the place where people from all over the world come to experience the fun and excitement of casino gaming. And with this video you can improve your overall knowledge of gaming so that who knows, your next trip to Caesars may just be as a high roller.
Welcome back to Caesars, Mr. Shriner. I hope this suite meets with your approval.
Yeah, very nice.
Now, while you're here, be sure to take in a show at our Circus Maximus. If you're hungry, you can feast on a bounty of delights at one of our many fine restaurants. Or perhaps you'd prefer to be pampered in our spa. You know, here at Caesars, you're the emperor.
Wow, me an emperor. Hi there, I'm Willius. Hi. Well, you know, I was over at the Coliseum the other day talking to Brutus. That guy is such a backstabber. I can't believe it. Would you look at the time? My sundial's been running late ever since I got here. Wow, all from playing smarter with this videotape. And of course, the Caesars Palace Deluxe Poker game by Tiger. Now all you have to do is just sit back and relax while we go over the basics of poker. I tell you what, scoot over next to your dozens of video poker machines. Oh, I see you don't have dozens of video poker machines at your house. Well, I'm not at home either. I tell you what, meet me at my house and you bring the snacks. I'll be along in a minute. Well, here I am in the comfort of my own home, where I've created my own virtual casino. I got a great deal on this old office furniture. I was in Rome last summer. This stuff's laying around everywhere. Now my computers are loaded with great information to help you learn the right way to play the game. I've got a high-tech game table and even friendly dealers to answer our questions.
Well, hello, Mr. Shriner. It's good to see you. Wow, nice shirt. Goes with your eyes. You look thinner. Have you been losing weight? Huh? Wow, and your office, very smart, very stylish.
All right, don't go overboard. I'm just trying to make a point at how friendly the dealers at Caesars can be.
Yes, indeed. You are right. You are the boss. Anything you say, you are correct, sir.
How much do you really know about poker? Well, with the help of my trusty computers, we'll learn all the important elements of the game. The history, the rules, strategy, betting, everything you need to know to become a better poker player. And with your Caesars Palace Deluxe Poker game by Tiger, you can hone your poker skills anywhere, anytime.
You are right, sir. Wow, you are a fountain of information.
Let me just turn this down a little bit.
Oh, absolutely, sir. I will keep quiet. My lips will be sealed. I am sealing them at this very moment.
Poker is derived from many ancient games. In France, it was called poke. In Germany, it was called Pockspiel, and the Hindus played a game called puka. But poker, as we know it today, began on the Mississippi riverboats in the mid-1800s. A lot of its mystique originates in the old gambling saloons of the Wild West, where you could not only lose a small fortune, but your life. Fortunately today, it's a friendlier game, unless of course you've been in my Monday night game, and Gladys can get pretty vicious. Seriously, the most colorful element of the game is bluffing. Many people think that poker is just a game of chance. Well, actually, there's more skill involved than playing pinochle, gin, or bridge. And my research even found that poker has had a tremendous influence on the art world. Looks like my game. Now, a skilled poker player using the right strategy will have a better chance of winning than in most other card games. So if winning is what you have in mind, then the development of a good poker sense is essential to playing the game. Without going into all variations of the games, we thought the most important thing to know are the basic rules that apply to all forms of the game. Now, rule number 1, know the rules of the game you are playing. Rule number 2, play as often as you can. With your Caesars Palace Deluxe Poker game, you can play anywhere, anytime, because there is no substitute for experience. Rule number 3, keep a good poker face. You never want to let other players know by your expressions what cards you have in your hand. Let me illustrate. Now this is a good poker face. Not a great face, but a good poker face. I'm just kidding. This player's expression is telling us nothing about his hand. Now watch, when he gets a good card, a slight change of expression can tip off the other players. Or on the other hand, the players can immediately tell if he didn't get the card he wanted. Before we talk about the more popular poker games, let's go over the order of rankings, or highest to lowest hands. Now you may want to write this down, but the best idea is to commit it right to memory. Checking your notes during a poker game will probably clue the other players into the fact that you're a beginner. The best hand you can get is a royal flush, although the odds are about 650,000 to 1. Next is a straight flush, then 4 of a kind, a full house, a flush, a straight, 3 of a kind, 2 pair, 1 pair, and highest card. Now let's look at the most popular poker games. These are the games you're most likely to play at casinos and card rooms around the world. Draw poker usually starts with an ante. For instance, my Auntie May, bless her soul, she starts a rousing game every Saturday, but that's a better story. Actually, this ante is the opening bet before the deal. Each player is dealt 5 cards, face down. These cards are unseen by all other players. It's called draw because each player tries to improve their hands by discarding and then drawing up to 3 new cards. There are 2 rounds of betting, one before the draw, one after. After the cards are dealt, play starts with the player to the left of the dealer and proceeds around the table. Each player can check, which means they choose to not open the betting, or they open the betting by declaring a wager and placing that amount in the center of the table. Continuing clockwise around the table, other players may either call and match the bet, fold and drop out for the remainder of that hand, or raise and increase the amount of the bet. The remaining players can then draw their new cards and begin the second round of betting. At the end of this round, all players still in the game turn over their cards and the highest ranking hand wins the pot. A popular form of draw is called jacks or better. In this game, a player can open or start the betting only with a pair of jacks or any higher ranking hand. If they have less than a pair of jacks, the player must check or pass until someone can open the betting. If no one can open the betting, the hand is folded, a new ante is collected, and a new hand is dealt. Another form of draw poker is video poker. Casinos everywhere have recognized the popularity of this game that combines the skill of draw poker with the ease of playing a slot machine. The player is dealt 5 cards, then has an option of trading any or all of them for new cards. As with any poker game, the object is to get the best hand. Since a video poker player is playing alone, the payoff is based on the player getting at least a pair of jacks. The payoff increases for each higher ranking hand, with the jackpot going to a royal flush. With your Caesars Palace Deluxe Poker game by Tiger, you can play video poker as well as stud poker, which we'll talk about more in just a minute. Now, other casino games include lowball, where the lowest ranking hand wins. In lowball, straights and flushes don't count, and the perfect hand is a 5-4-3-2 ace, commonly known as the wheel. Texas Hold'em is a game where the player is dealt 2 cards. They can use 1 or 2 cards from their hand combined with the community cards, which are dealt face up on the table. Another variation is called Omaha, where the players are dealt 5 cards each but can only use 2 cards from their hand with the community cards. Next is stud poker. There are 2 varieties, 5-card stud and 7-card stud. The difference being one is played with 5 cards and the other is played with... I'm not getting ahead of you, am I? Okay, I didn't think so. Now in stud poker, some of the cards are concealed or face down, while the other cards are seen by all the other players. In 7-card stud, the cards are dealt around the table until each player has 2 cards down and 1 card up in front of them. At this point, the first player, to the left of the dealer, with the highest card may make the first bet or check to the next player. When the first round of betting is finished, the players, still in the game, will be dealt a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th card face up. Each new card is followed by a new round of betting. The 7th and final card is dealt face down to all remaining players. A final round of betting takes place, and the player with the best 5-card poker hand wins the pot. The difference in 5-card stud is that only the first card is dealt face down. Then all 4 remaining cards are dealt face up with a bet after each round. At the end of the game, the hole or down card is revealed and the best hand wins the pot. As I said earlier, with your Caesars Palace Deluxe Poker game by Tiger, you can play video poker or 5-card stud, and with this handheld game, you have one of the best teachers in the world right there in the palm of your hand. Now you can have hours of fun while honing your poker skills, and best of all, it won't cost you a penny to practice. Now, although the values of the hands are the same, the rules are a little different in the handheld game. For demonstration purposes, we'll show you the play action on an enhanced version of the game screen. You play against 3 other opponents. That can be a friend and 2 computer-controlled opponents, or if you have no friends like me, all 3 computer opponents.
Hey, I'm your friend, Mr. Shriner. I think you're the greatest.
Yeah, but you're on the payroll. Now, to see your opponent's hand on the screen of the handheld game, just select Opponents. There's even a Help button that will give you hints and strategies, and I'll tell you more on that in a bit. Now, each player begins the game with $1,000. Bets are made in $5 increments from $5 to $25. When you run out of money, the game is over and will reset to $1,000. Now, wouldn't it be nice if life were that easy? At the beginning of each hand, 2 cards are dealt to each player, one face up, one face down. Each player can then look at their own hole or down card, and as in regular poker, play begins with a person with the highest up card. Now here's where you get to those 3 options I talked about earlier. If you weren't paying attention, shame on you. Go back, rewind the tape, and I'll wait right here till you get back. And for those of you who were paying attention, nice going. Let's just move on. We don't need those other people. Based on your hand, you can either call, raise, or fold and continue to play out the hand just like a normal game of stud poker. With each bet, money is deducted from your total and added to the pot where all the players' bets are placed. The player with the highest hand still in the game is awarded the pot. The game resumes with a new hand until you run out of money. But don't worry, there's plenty more where that came from. Should you become confused like those people who had to rewind the tape, there's a handy help button to give you advice and strategy. For example, you've got an ace up and an ace down. What should you do? Well, let's push the help button and find out. The screen shows the word bet and an amount, $25. Wow, that's a little steep for my blood, but this is the recommended action. After all, you do want to learn to play better poker. Now let's see another example. After receiving 4 cards, you have a weak hand. Let's push the button. So there you have it, great advice at the push of a button. Don't you wish all of life had a help button?
Hey, buddy, save my seat.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Hi, is this seat taken?
Why no, have a seat.
Why no, have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
You see what I mean? Now what do you say we play a game? It's me against 2 computer opponents. May the best human win. All right, you start with the on button, select opponents, and deal. Now I got a king of hearts up and a down card. Computer player number 1 has a jack of clubs. Computer player number 2 has a 4 of spades. Since I have the highest card, I'll just place a modest bet like the maximum $25. Well, I see player number 2 has no guts. There's a call. Let's see our next card. Player number 1 gets a jack of diamonds for a pair. I get a queen of hearts. Well, now it's up to the computer to bet since it has a pair. He bets $15. I'll call. Next card is a 7 for the computer and a jack of hearts for me. The price of poker just went up. It's the computer's bet because it still has the highest hand showing with a pair of jacks. He bets $5. Oh, the computer chip is a little scared of my hand. I'll see that 5 and raise you 5. I don't want to scare him off. Player number 1 calls the $5 and we'll get our last card. The computer gets another jack. Uh-oh. And I get the 10 of hearts. Hello! So it's still his bet. He bets $25 trying to scare me off. Remember what I said about keeping a poker face? Well, let's just check my hole card one more time. I'll just see that 25 and go right back at you for another $25. We got us a poker game. The computer calls my bet. Now it's time to read 'em and weep. That's a cute little full house, but it's not quite good enough to beat my ROYAL Royal Flush. Okay, I wrote the script. What do you expect me to lose? I'm on a roll. Let's deal him again. All right, dealer has an ace. No problem. My down card is a lucky 7 and a 2. Okay, the dealer bets $10. Let's just see what the help button has to say about this. The help button says fold. Doesn't it know I'm on a hot streak? I'll just call that $10 bet and see one more card. A 4. The dealer gets another ace. This hand is getting worse. I should have taken the game's advice. I fold. Is there a draft in here or something? My hot streak seems to have cooled. Okay, no problem. I'll just switch over to video poker. You see, that's the beauty of a game like this. You don't even have to change your seat. I'll just choose video bonus poker and we're ready to play. The game deals 5 cards just like in the machines in Las Vegas. I get a queen, a 6, another queen, a 3, and another queen. 3 queens. Now I have the option of drawing some new cards to improve my hand. I'll keep the queens and get rid of the 6 and the 3. And my new cards are a 5 and a 5. Full house. See, I told you I was on a streak, and that's how much fun it can be. Well, that about wraps it up. I hope you learned all the basics you need and even picked up a few useful strategies. Anytime you need to refresh your memory in a certain area, just go back and review that part of the tape. See, now you can practice wherever you go. That's the great thing about this and other Caesars handheld games from Tiger, like blackjack, roulette, and slots. You can play just about anywhere. And who knows, you may learn to play so well you could end up being treated like a real high roller. Aphrodite, another grape?
Oh, hey, there you are, Mr. Shriner. Let me peel that grape for you, sir.
Guard, security.
Oh, hi. I'm a big fan of King Tut. I've seen the Cleopatra movie 5 times. You don't know her personally, do you? She's a fox.
Good luck, and we'll see you at Caesars.